What it do, people? I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of Knowdatsports Thursday Night Football Edition, man. I got two of my guys back with me, man. Up top, my boy Walt, man, who represent Goats and Ring and co-host of East West Football Podcast. And at the bottom, I got my 49er all the way live fan, Big Block Sport, man. What it do, Pimp Jew? How y'all doing?
We in it. We in the playoffs till we out the playoffs, baby. Let's get it.
You got that right. Well, y'all got a big win this week, man. What's up, man?
Shout out to the Lions, boy.
Yeah, y'all for the whole parlay sheet up, Walt. That bullshit, y'all for the whole parlay sheet up this week.
They did. We nearly got week one over San Francisco, low key, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We got a couple people this year now.
Yeah. I don't know how we got Arizona, but I'm guessing that Rams loss kind of like really broke them, because for them to come out the following week, it ain't the fact that they lost to Detroit, it's how they lost to Detroit.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, and for Kyler Murray to come out after the game and say that they overlooked the Lions and felt that they were just going to put their helmets on and go out there and win. And who is that an indictment on? Is that Kyler? Because think of this, man. Kyler made a big rough over the offseason about having more say-so.
Yeah.
He was woofing more over the offseason about having more say-so about what goes on and who gets brought in and roster moves and this and that. Well, I mean, you got to take the bad with it too.
You don't have to take the good with the bad all the time.
You know, and what I see with him, man, honestly, bro, I think he's the problem. Because I see a lot of things with him, issues with him that go back to Oklahoma too. Like he got like his footwork ain't good at all. His mechanics ain't, and he just want to drop back and just gunsling that ball. And then sometimes he looks small. Like this past Sunday, he looked small. He looked small against the Rams too. That previous game too. But
when they surround his ass, he looks small. When they surround him.
Well, that's the thing. He has the arm, like everybody says, and I agree, he has an elite arm, and he does. He has an elite arm from the pocket, but the problem is he can't throw from the pocket. Yeah. You ever notice he always rolling left? Everything is designed for him to either roll left or roll right.
Sound like Doug Flutie to me.
Yeah.
he rolled left. Now, I'm not calling him Doug Flutie, but he rolled left and right so the one can open up. Matter of fact, Drew Brees used to do that whole thing about it. Drew Brees know how to get there 1, 2, 3, boom. He know how to get there, get it off in 3 seconds before the line got them be all over him and he can't really see. But Kyler Murray can't do that 1, 2, 3. He got a 1, 2, 3, then move to the left, move to the right to find that window. Because he be too big in front of him. Like you say, he look too little sometimes.
Yeah.
But then even still, he used to throw it up to Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, even though most teams that'll be like a freestyle play. They kind of game plan to be like, all right, we just gonna figure out a way to get Hopkins the ball on these next couple plays. And I think without him being there, he don't have the ability to really throw the ball up like he used to get those big chunk plays. And now what's happening is that Cliff is actually having to call plays to get people open, and he having a hard time because of all the things that you mentioned with Kyler's footwork and just his ability to really throw from the pocket. But I think you looking at a team in the Cardinals that ain't never been there before, and they acting like it. They overlooking the Lions. They probably didn't really prepare like they should have for the Rams, because they felt like the Rams was probably coming in limping because we had just beat them a couple weeks ago. And I think that's what's really more than anything. What I see from them is they a team that think they already made the playoff. I mean, they kind of did, but you know what I'm saying? Like they done took their foot off.
They got too comfortable.
They not the underdogs no more, right? Like remember when J.J. Watt was on the sideline saying, you know, why they always making excuses? People stop making excuses, and now y'all try. Go start making excuses again.
Stop making excuses. Start paying attention to you. Start taking it serious and got to do what you got. But I ain't even know that though. I found this out after the game. Matthew Stafford been beating Arizona. They were saying they were saying Matthew Stafford, I should have really known this. I really trimmed around. They said Matthew Stafford been being, what did they call it? What the coach name for Arizona?
Kingsbury.
Oh, Kingsbury.
Yeah. They said he been beating them. And if I think about it, they ain't lying, because that is the same scenario they were saying about how the Rams had beat the Cardinals, what 6 out of the last 7 times they played them.
Yeah.
Jared Goff was the quarterback 5 of them 7 games. I ain't even think about that. Don't say that means
NFC West connection.
Yes, he know Arizona. So he virtually know him to a certain extent. He know the coaching staff.
That's very possible.
I ain't even think about that. By the time I thought about it, I done fucked around and picked the wrong team. So you know how that go. But we're gonna see can we pick the right team for Thursday night. We got the San Francisco 49ers going against the Tennessee Titans. The San Francisco 49ers do have a playoff spot right now. I think they got the 6th or the 7th spot. Yeah, one. I knew you knew the exact answer. One of the two, but they got the 6th spot. Tennessee, they got a playoff spot. But I'm not saying they're gonna lose their playoff spot, but they're going down rapidly. You know what I'm saying? They going down. Not saying they're gonna lose their spot. I still think they'll make it, but they're going down rapidly. How many points they get in San Francisco? I mean, how many? Who is the over and under for this game? I mean, who is the supposed to be the winner of this game? Like who they got the favor of this game, bro?
They got the 49ers.
But how many points?
3.
3 straight up?
Yeah, -3.
So they get Tennessee 3 points.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna ask Bloody question. I'm gonna ask you first, Walt, because I know you can say. Walt, who you got, man?
I'm taking San Francisco, man. I think
you think they're gonna cover the 3?
Yeah. Tennessee just as hard as tough as they are defensively, as good as they are defensively, they just can't keep making up for that lack of offense, man. Like we saw it again against Pittsburgh this previous week. The defense played well enough to win. I mean, and they just can't get it done. Tannehill on the season got 14 touchdowns, 14 picks. Good. Like you can't keep you up there breaking even, man. Tennessee spinning their wheels, and then considering the fact that they say AJ Brown's supposed to be back this weekend, you ain't got Julio either. Julio back in, back out.
They said Julio practiced today. He fully practiced today.
I don't know what that means, man.
Off a hamstring, so I believe he did the same thing last week. So that means we should get a first half or a first quarter of Julio, then we don't see him no more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very rare. It's very rarely that we see situations where Jimmy G is the best quarterback in the actual matchup.
Hey man.
This week he right. Without Derrick Henry, he right. They're just like if you take Kittles away, then you got the same quarterback on the field. Because Jimmy G without Kittles,
you can say that about any team.
No, you can't say that about any team because you.
How the Cowboys look when CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper went out? They looked exactly.
You just called out 2. You just called out 2 people. We called out 1.
He'll count twice. He'll count twice. He block and he catch passes.
Yeah. He do 2 things, but he one person. So that's how bad he is.
Look, I will say this though. I think if San Francisco got a healthy backfield, they can make it without Kittle for a few games because they still got some guys on the perimeter that can make plays. I think where San Francisco falls into their problems is that they get too many injuries in too many different areas. Running backs hurt, wide receivers hurt, Kittle out too. But don't get it twisted though. When Kittle out there, man, and everybody healthy, Kittle is the equalizer.
He's the best safety blanket in the world.
Yeah.
To me, the best tight end in the NFL. I've been saying that. I've been saying that since their Super Bowl year. The reason why I said about Kittle because he do 2 things. He block and pass. He A1 in both of them. You got to be A1 in both of them to be a top-notch tight end in the league. To me, you just can't be. I can go down the seam or I can catch you with a post and keep beating you like that. When it's time to run the clock, can you be on the field when it's time to run the clock and be effective? By locking your man down, so like putting the block down. And Kittle do that every time he's on the field. So I believe he gonna be the X factor. I really don't want to pick San Francisco, but I like them too. I'm saying the scrum now. I won't come up and be like, well, I know these 2 gonna beat San Francisco, and I'm just gonna be the oddball. Fuck that, I gotta get it right. I like the 49 too. I'm saying only way I see the 49 lose, losing the game. If their offensive line don't hold up, and I think he's gonna hold up because he's been one of the top offensive linemen in the game. They don't hold up and they get in Jimmy G face. I don't see that going on. I think they're gonna match the the physicality of Tennessee. So they were Tennessee gonna come with the physicality. I think they're gonna match it, and Jimmy G make more plays than Tannehill. So Tannehill ain't never without a ring, ain't.
I want to ask y'all this, man, about Tennessee. What do you think they do next season? Because they gave Tannehill that money.
Try it again.
Listen.
Put the blame on Derrick Henry, not being now. Hoping Derrick Henry gonna come and
No, yeah, but ain't nobody buying that because you paid your quarterback, but you paid your quarterback all that money the previous season. Like, where's his accountability in all this?
They're gonna use the absence of Derrick Henry to save him.
You can't give me.
I think if I'm Tennessee, I take either AJ Brown or Julio, and I turn them into some capital to either pick up offensive linemen or linebackers, because that's really where they struggle with the most is protection for Tannehill, so that they can actually have a passing game that is worth some. But I think because they have two of these dudes that, because they always hurt, neither one of them really equal to one solid wide receiver. They put so much pressure on Tannehill to throw. Michael Pruitt, who we released, he like the fourth, fifth string tight end we released, and he like a starter on Tennessee because they had so many injuries. We saw, I forgot your boy that got worked at the tackle position by Chandler Jones the first game, and he posted on Twitter like, "Yeah, I'm trash. Thanks for working."
Taylor,
but he's supposed to be pretty good though.
He's supposed to be.
Yeah,
I think if I'm Tennessee, I think to your point, we, with the Derrick Henry injury, we kind of stuck with him with Tannehill. We just kind of renewed, and it ain't really been, I don't want to say it ain't been Tannehill's fault. I mean, he kind of been playing with the cards that he dealt. But I think if you look at Julio Jones, you look at AJ Brown, one of y'all got to turn something up. I can't have both of y'all in there for 2 downs, and then y'all got to rest for 2 series. It ain't working out. You got these other dudes out here playing wide receiver.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm thinking. They need to turn one of them dudes into something productive, because right now both of them together is like maybe 1.5, maybe a half a productive receiver.
I'm gonna say this: the only true difference between them and Carolina right now is the fact that Tennessee's defense is more mature than Carolina's defense. I think those two franchises are in the same exact damn situation where they built around a damn running back. That's true. If we look at
I would take Tannehill over Cam Newton, no?
I would take. Would you take Tannehill over Sam Darnold?
No, absolutely not. I would take Tannehill. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you bring up a great point. I think Carolina's defense might be a little more talented with Gilmore and Brian Burns.
Name-wise. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think coaching-wise, Vrabel and his staff really, that's where Tennessee is a scary team, because
you get Vrabel on Carolina defense. Well, that motherfucker gonna be turned up.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So Tennessee's a scary team because they not gonna make too many mistakes, and they really gonna be prepared for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really gonna catch them by surprise. How you gonna beat them is they banged up. They got terrible running backs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have a run. They're one-dimensional. So you're going to beat them off a scheme. You're not going to really outsmart them. You probably not going to even really be able to out-physical them. But you got to be able to out-talent them. And because they're so banged up, that's where they become inconsistent.
You're going to be better than them. You ain't going to out-coach them. You're going to be better than them. You're going to be better than them. So they gonna come.
But I'm saying, like, those teams that's built around, instead of being built around a quarterback the way you would typically want to be, when you built around a running back, when you lose that running back, if you're built around a quarterback and you lose a good running back, you could easily, that really good quarterback, that elite quarterback, can get you through a 3, 4, 5, 6 game stretch without that running back.
Yeah.
When everything is built around Christian McCaffrey, or everything is built around Derrick Henry getting 2,000 yards and Christian McCaffrey going for 1,000 receiving and 1,000 rushing and 14 touchdowns. When you lose that much production and you lose the identity of your team, that's where I think things really start to fall apart. Look at Carolina. Like, Carolina was good for the first 5 days of the season. The first
what? 5 days, right?
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, Christian got hurt, and once Christian got McCaffrey got hurt, what happened? Sam got exposed. They started asking Sam to do too much, and then Sam started turning the ball over. Then he got hurt.
You right about that. But when you compare that to Tennessee went out and got on Julio Jones. They got Julio Jones and AJ Brown out there. They ain't expecting them folk to come out there with the injury like they got going on. They went and got them. So if something do happen to Derrick Henry, hey man, I got 2 A1 wide receivers. These niggas 6'4", 240. I'm saying can go call the middle and they got to make plays. But when you get Derrick Henry hurt, and both of these niggas, both of them don't equal to one wide receiver. Both of them put together, and Block was saying both of them put together don't equal to one wide receiver. Hey man, but shit, they ain't nothing.
Actually, this though. But if you look at both franchises would probably be Tennessee's still 9-5, so they still a really good team. But
they 8-6, just like us.
I ain't gonna say they're a really good team because I'm just this year they start off hot. And got that with Derrick Henry. Because if Derrick Henry, if they want to start out hot and Derrick Henry would have got hurt, they'd be fucked up. I think the coach would probably be in front of them.
Yeah.
So I think
since the Derrick Henry injury, they are a 500 team. They won 3 and they lost 3.
They is what they is. They tell you a whole lot.
I mean, they done had a bunch of injuries, but the same argument you make for them, I guess you could make for a lot of other teams in the league. Just a little bit better quarterback play, their situation could be different too. I mean, I understand Ryan Tannehill hasn't been dealt the best hand as far as what he had over the past 5-6 weeks or whatever, but you can't tell me there aren't better quarterbacks in the league that will still be able to turn chicken salad out of chicken shit. Sometimes that's what you need, but I think maybe I'm expecting more out of him because of what he make and what he's expected to do in situations like this. And I think he got paid based off of what the team did, the team success. And then
he managed the game damn good. He's a game manager, really. He ain't
it's the
Aaron
market.
Rodgers. He ain't got that. He ain't Aaron Rodgers. He ain't your boy in Kansas City. I'm saying he ain't Lamar Jackson.
But
he ain't Josh Allen. He's a game manager.
Yeah, but that goes back to like my original statement. How do you handle him moving forward? Because you don't want to be in a situation where you're just spinning your wheels. Because Derrick Henry could get hurt next season. Then what? There's no guarantee Ryan can get you over the hump there either. So you don't want to
roll the dice one more time though. I think they'll roll the dice one more time. And what I mean by that is try Tannehill again, come out with these same 2 wide receivers, hoping they don't get in the doctor's office.
Dog, it ain't happening, man. Listen, AJ was beat up at Ole Miss.
I think Tannehill, you could do a lot worse than Tannehill. If you look at a team like New York Giants, if you look at a team like the Carolina Panthers, who have run through 4 quarterbacks this year, you look at teams, I mean, you could kind of almost say Pittsburgh too, because they not really, sometimes you get Big Ben, sometimes you get Lil Bob, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think you could do a lot worse than Tannehill. I think Tannehill, for the most part, if you keep him upright, like you said, you know what I'm saying? Like he has a running game, he gonna win you some games. Is he gonna do an Aaron Rodgers and win the game with 30 seconds left? He's not gonna do that. But that kind of goes to the philosophy of the organization and the coach. If I'm the Tennessee Titans, I think they failure in so many ways is instead of going to get a Julio, you know what I'm saying? Why not get a switch up for Derrick Henry so that if he do get hurt, you got another back that can come in like the Cowboys, where when Zeke is dealing with a little knee situation, you got Pollard in the game to do his thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where, if I'm looking at Tennessee, where I'm saying turn one of them 2 wide receivers into another running back. You got a lot of good running backs out there that they could have picked up that could have been a 1-2 punch. And they decided, we go get another piece of jewelry, which is really what Julio Jones and AJ Brown are, right? Like, we think about their offense is not a pass-first offense.
I believe they got Julio Jones for the simple reason fact, I know you got to put 8-9 folks in the box to start Henry. And then make Tannehill's job a whole lot more easier. So when you got Julio Jones on the outside and AJ Brown on the outside, you're gonna get some one-on-one coverage. That she'll make your job a whole lot easier. That's what they were seeing before the injuries hit them.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. When you this is the downside to when you invest that much money in these game managers. And I understand that it's all the market. When you got a quarterback with the slightest bit of a pulse, you got to pay him. It's the market. It is what it is. But in order for that game manager to work and be successful, all of those ancillary parts around him have to stay healthy. It's damn near impossible to keep every damn body healthy around you, bro.
No, that ain't going on.
That's not going to happen. During the NFL season, you're going to have guards hurt, tackles going to get hurt, running backs going to get hurt, receivers going to get hamstrings.
Anybody.
Like, that's the whole thing. In order for Tannehill to work, everything around him has to be good. And that's never going to happen for nobody. Look at Tom. Tom over there struggling, and Tom got 10 wins. So,
but I think the struggle is like, all right, who else? And that's the kind of the same thing like when people talk about Jimmy G. I'm like, all right, well, who else? Who y'all gonna put in there? Because it ain't no other good quarterbacks out there. So if you got somebody who at least has won some games, has taken you to the playoffs, has some experience, you is kind of stuck with them, but you don't want to do something outlandish like Carolina.
What you got?
Like Carolina, who probably should have just stuck with Cam Newton, and here we are, right back with Cam Newton.
Hey, look, speaking of Cam Newton, though, before we get to these top 10 rankings, before Cam Newton left, he had lost 8 straight games before he left, before they got rid of him. He was 0-8 before they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Since he been the starter with them, and since he came back, he 0-11.
Man, listen.
He ain't got it.
I'm always tell it like it is, man. Cam washed.
Superman, he ain't got it, bro. I been telling you a little longer, man. They trying to tell you hating on the man.
But they didn't have to give up them draft picks and all that stuff to be in the same position they are now. Because now you in the same position you would have been in with Cam and minus whatever draft picks they gave up for Sam Darnold.
Right. That's the thing. Like everything just came full circle. Right back to where you at right now.
Yeah, they come from up top, though. They come from up top. They come from up top. When they make it,
with Tennessee,
up top can't make moves. You know how you gonna look at the bottom if up top is crucial. If up top ain't got no sense, making all bad decisions, what the hell you think the bottom gonna look like? That's why you get what you get.
So next year for Tennessee, if it ain't a Russell Wilson, if it ain't like Deshaun Watson somehow end up, you might as well just run that back.
You know they're gonna keep.
You're not going to do nothing with Fitzpatrick. You're not going to do nothing with Jacoby instead.
You got to keep it. You got to keep it.
I think Carolina's situation a little different because, like y'all said, that comes from Tepper upstairs, and that's not a football dude. No. But he's coming in. He actually thought this team had a shot. He gave up picks for Gilmore made 0 damn sense at all. 0 cents. There was no need.
I forgot he was over there.
How long they got him though?
How much?
I don't even know.
He gonna be there next year?
I'm pretty sure. I'm
not
pretty sure.
I ain't got no problem with that Gilmore move, man. Gilmore a good cornerback, man.
But so unless you plan on not bringing back Dante Jackson, that's the only way that situation makes sense.
Or AJ Bouye.
Yeah. But who gonna be
Horn? You got to thing is, what's kind of got hurt. Horn got hurt. That's why they made that Gilmore move, because Horn got hurt.
Yeah.
But at the time, they thought they had a legit shot, though.
Yeah, I think they were 5-1 or something.
Yeah, but
I did too. Shit, I thought they were shaking too.
Sam Darnold was leading the league.
I thought they were shaking too. I thought they were shaking too till they played that. When they played the Cowboys, then they lost. And they started going downhill. But I thought they did too, though. They had me fooled.
I
ain't gonna lie, they had me fooled.
Well, I mean, Tennessee could always bring Darnold in.
But hell no, Darnold ain't got it either. He got that. Darnold is got that just like your boy.
Run that back. Just run it back.
He just like your boy in New York. Or Daniel Jones. Same person. Yeah. Same people.
Turnover machines?
The turnover machine, you can believe that.
Apple, cherry, and peach. You
can believe it. Showtime. We got to break out the power ranking, man. Everybody got their own power rankings. So everybody got their top 10 team through week 16. Where it look like right now, I got the Packers at 1 and you got the Packers at 1 too, don't you, Walt?
Yep.
I have the Packers at 1.
Okay,
Packers at 1.
That sound about right. At number 2, I got Kansas City Chiefs. You got the Kansas City Chiefs, Walt. That's about right,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, kind of like one. At 3, I got the Dallas Cowboys. Walt, you got the Rams, and I think Block, you got Dallas Cowboys. Right?
I got the Dallas Cowboys.
You like the Rams? You think the Rams like that? You think the Rams shaking it like that?
Yeah, I do. I think when I really break them down at every level of that defense, this is what they want to do. If they can shut the run down the way they was able to this past game and the way they've been able to recently since they came back from that bye, that based the offense into doing what they want you to do, which is throwing the football, which they can really get out there and get after the quarterback. Then Donald can crush the pocket. Those ends can get the rushing in, and they can get to making plays on the back end. And hey, Stafford, this is all the Rams really have to do, and I have a feeling that they're going to do it because it's around that time of year anyway. Start running the ball a whole lot more. I got a feeling because the thing is, y'all gonna be able to get Cooper Kupp open, and Stafford gonna be able to find him. But if they can't keep defenses honest, I believe that's what's gonna end up doing them in. Like Stafford's not gonna go out there and gunsling them to 3 playoff wins.
Hell no, he ain't. Hell
So,
no, he ain't. But
yeah, I mean, I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the Rams overall. It's just that we haven't seen Stafford do it. And that's what he was brought over there to do. That's the whole thing. We haven't seen Stafford do it, but that team built. They got the weapons on the outside. They got the defense. They got the coaching. They got it. And they can beat anybody in the top of the AFC. Not AFC, but in the top of the NFC anyway. They've proven they can beat Arizona.
They couldn't beat us.
Well, you know, they got another shot at y'all.
Yeah, I'm more physical than them. That's why I don't have them. That's why I don't have them in my own.
I think you bring up a lot of great points about the Rams. I think the problem with the Rams is not so much the talent. I think it's their ability to play together as a unit. And that's what happens when you bring in a bunch of players who got names and they're not really used to playing together. I think secondary-wise, outside of Jalen Ramsey, them boys barbecue chicken. You can't tell me anybody else out there.
No, Williams good. Williams good. The other corner, Williams is good.
What's his number, 11?
Oh, I forgot his number, but Williams is good.
Barbecue chicken. Rap, that safety, barbecue chicken. Right. Jalen Ramsey out there watching the game. He like, man, these boys barbecue.
No, Williams is a good
The only problem I have with the Rams is that outside of, they're not physical. And then if you get away from the Aaron Donalds and the Jalen Ramseys and even Cooper Kupp, if you're able to bracket them, there's not much else on that team. Van Jefferson is not a solid number 2 wide receiver. Deshaun Jackson is not over there no more. Sony Michel got released for a reason. I don't even know who else. Henderson, the other running back, Garbaggio.
I like Sony Michel though.
I think he has his moments.
I don't think he'll the future. He should be the future back.
Somebody out here game planning for Sony Michel. Like, damn, how we gonna stop him?
I like him though. I'm saying he contribute a whole lot. But he can't be the future back like every down back. I don't believe in that. I don't believe he do that. I don't believe in that.
Well, y'all know, the whole thing is you have to just be able to generate some type of running game. You don't necessarily have to have, that one guy. You gotta do something like that. You gotta be at least attempt it and get something out the deal. But the thing is, man, the Rams, we see all of these teams are flawed. Yeah, but I think we see when the Rams show up, we haven't seen the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really show up completely this season. Like, damn, that's the Bucs from last season. We ain't seen that game from Tampa Bay as a whole. Offense, defense, special teams. Right. We've seen pretty much the best of Arizona, and we've seen some teams beat Arizona when we see the best of Arizona. I just think the Rams, even when you look at Dallas got their playmakers on defense. They got Diggs and they got Parsons. Of course, they got the pass rushers too. I think when the Rams are humming and that offense is humming and Donald and Floyd is doing what they got to do and Ramsey and Williams is playing solid on that back end, the Rams look like the best team.
Yes, they do.
To me, this season
they do. When it is clicking, I'm saying when it's clicking. But to stop the clicking, it's getting physical with them. That's what I believe to stop the clicking. get them off real and get physical with them. And I believe they'll lay down like what I done see. Only thing make me say that is every team I done seen get physical with them this year, they done lost. That's the only why. That's the only why I feel like that. To me, I may be wrong. They got all the talent in the world, but I believe when the ball down to it and you get physical and you make Stafford have to beat you, but it ain't gonna be nothing but the DDT. Then before we get the DDT. Out of our top 10, man, and this shit just went off. We all got a team in there that somebody else ain't got. Like in mine, I have who I put in there. I got the 49ers in mine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have the 49ers in yours. I think you got the Bengals.
Yep.
You got the Ravens in yours. I think you got the Ravens. You got the Ravens and the Chargers. I ain't got the Chargers in mine either.
Yeah, I got the Ravens. I think a lot of people down on the Ravens, but Lamar Jackson has been out for the last 2 weeks.
I think the injury board done caught him. That's all
they have an opportunity though with their schedule over the next couple of weeks to win some games. I think Lamar Jackson is coming back. I think they're still, yeah. What we talked about with we talked about the other team with the coaching. I think the Ravens have that advantage that a lot of teams don't have is John Harbaugh and that staff on the sideline really making adjustments. Yeah. I mean, you got to think about the Ravens. Really, their only offensive weapon is Mark Andrews. And he still go off for 10 catches, 2 like that's coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like that's game plan.
That ain't nothing but the coaching. I just think the injury board gonna catch up with them. The main injury just caught him. Superman got hurt.
Well, even before he got hurt, he wasn't playing all that well. Before he got hurt,
but he still got him. Like that game they just lost against Green Bay. How win that game? He win that one.
I think their real problem is we about to see what their problem is because
they play Cincinnati.
Yeah,
that's the DDT. That's gonna be the DDT.
Teams with talent, like teams with a lot of offensive talent, give them problems because it's only so far toughness and grit gonna get you. At some point in time, you're gonna need some healthy bodies, like some healthy, talented bodies at that. So if Cincinnati go out there the weekend and put one on them, it's over.
At a DDT, you got Cincinnati in yours. None of us got Cincinnati, so you like Cincinnati being your top team.
Yeah, man. I put it like this: once we get past, because I got Cincinnati at 9.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody inconsistent. Everybody got their warts. But I think Cincinnati, when they can establish mixing,
they good.
That instead of establishing the pass, then attempting to establish mixing. When they can establish mixing first, and they can just not force the ball downfield, they can start running some play action, some bootlegs, getting Joe out on the perimeter to throw the football, and they can still stop the run. Like I was impressed. I picked them to lose at Denver. I picked them to lose at Denver past week.
They were the underdog, and I was like, for real? I knew they were going to They defense gonna get at Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater not better than that young boy. Period. Not to me.
Yeah. Plus another thing too. I thought that going up to Denver is still a tough place to go up to and win around this time of year too.
Yeah. That can't be a trap game.
But yeah, look at the division, man. It's like Cleveland don't want it. Pittsburgh don't want it. Baltimore beat up the injury bug and caught up to them.
They will caught them. The injury board get caught them. And Cleveland, I think the injury board caught Cleveland too.
Yeah.
I got the 49ers, and I think they pretty good. Because I think the 49ers are real good. Because Thursday night gonna tell me a whole lot about them. If they beat Tennessee, they'll be able to get the playoff.
I agree.
I like the 49ers being my top 10. I ain't trying to cut it all real short, but you know how the time go. Ain't got that long to go. I appreciate y'all, man. I fuck with me, man. Y'all go catch these folks on our podcast platform, man. Knowdatsports, Big Box Sport, Ghost and Ring, Walt Sprinkle, Big Block Sport, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I folks fuck with me. Know that if you don't know nothing else. Shake it.
Shake it.